Hi everyone! So today we'll be talking about Chinese printing and Terracotta Warriors. So let's imagine you're going on an adventure somewhere that you've never been before. You don't know what you'll encounter, or if the place will be nice, or if it'll be scary. So what would you bring with you to protect yourself? What would you bring for comfort? As an activity, take a moment to draw it. And let's share. What did you bring? Feel free to comment in the comments below. But why is this relevant? Well, for the Terracotta Warriors, or the Terracotta Army, the Emperor Huang brought along over 8,000 Terracotta Warriors with him in the afterlife. He wasn't sure what would be there or what he needed, but to bring himself comfort and protection, he decided to have workers make these Terracotta Warriors. They're life-size, and it was so detailed, they made soldiers with high to low ranking officers, including middle rank officers, light armed and heavy armed soldiers, as well as kneeling archers. There were also horses and chariots. So each warrior appeared to have unique facial features. They would take different body types and different facial features and put them together, so each warrior looked unique. So down below, there'll be a link in the description where you can watch a video that'll explain a little bit more about the Terracotta Warriors. So is there anything that you find yourself repeatedly drawing or making? Any patterns or doodles that you find that you just do automatically? I ask this because we're going to talk about another important Chinese invention. And this invention affected not only the Chinese culture, but all of the cultures around the world, and definitely helped to shape modern society today. So what is that invention? That invention is printing and paper. The Chinese invented the traditional woodblock printing, and again, there will be a link down below for a young woman who will be doing the traditional Chinese woodblock printing. If you use any sharp objects, of course this isn't recommended that you do, but if you do that, please use it with caution and do not do it without parental supervision. So just a little bit of information about Chinese printing. It was invented in China in 618 to 906 AD, which was during the Tang Dynasty. And most of these images and printed out scriptures were Buddhist and religious in nature. They printed mostly religious texts, and they eventually moved to longer scrolls and scriptures of text, and eventually to books. And by 1000 AD, printed books had replaced most of the scrolls. And in the 11th century, movable type was invented. So that means that if you take different woodblock pieces, you could move it around and make different text. And each character could make up a different word or sentence. Since paper was cheap, especially compared to what they used to use, which was silk fabrics, books were much easier to access and more available to China. And this was during the Song Dynasty. So there are a few different types of methods of printing traditionally, including woodblock printing, movable type, and two-color printing, red and black. So, in terms of woodblock printing, and you could see this a little bit in the video, text was written on a piece of wood or a piece of paper and then glued to the wood. And With the characters, they were carved out, so you could make a printing plate. And the plate was used to print, and if you were an expert at printing, they could make 2,000 or more sheets a day for just one plate. Movable type was when each Chinese character made into its own individual stamp. So you could move around the different characters and fasten them on a plate, and then you could change it around and move the characters again and make a different sentence or word, and that could be printed. And this was actually invented by a commoner named Huang. In terms of two-color printing, this was just an early example of when they were able to add another color to the print, and they used red and black. So for the craft today, there are two different methods you can do. There's a foam printing method, so if you have foam, this is a great and easy method to make some prints. So if you have foam, you can use your pencil and draw a Terracotta Warrior on your foam sheet. And if you make sure the foam is indented, and you can see that whatever they indent will be white because the paint won't reach that area. So feel free to make your own Terracotta Warrior army. To make the outline more precise, take some scissors and cut around the shape of your warrior, or use the acrylic paint and paint only on your warrior. And then you press the side of the foam with the paint, and you can see that on step 3 on another piece of paper, and just repeat these steps, and then you can make your own Terracotta Warrior army. And you can see here are just more examples. You can do so much with this method. Super easy and super fun. But if you don't have that, you can also make your own warrior army with the pencil graphite transfer method. And for the Terracotta Warriors, you can use this method and trace over them. And this handout, which is on Artsphere's blog, will also be posted in the description below. It's a totally free handout, so feel free to just download the PDF and print it out. So for this method, what you would do is you would print out the handout or draw your own image, and on the back of that image you will scribble graphite, and graphite is just normal pencil lead. You can use a mechanical pencil or a number 2 pencil. So normal pencil lead, and you just scribble it all over the back, or at least on the outlines of the image. And then you can take another piece of paper. In this example, they used a green piece of paper, and put the side of the paper that is covered in graphite, and that should touch the surface of the clean paper, and maybe tape around the edges of the paper just so it doesn't move. And then you'll trace along the outlines of the Terracotta Warrior or whatever image you have, or you can trace along the lines of the Terracotta Warrior from the handout, and this will transfer the graphite onto the blank sheet of paper. You can repeat these steps to build your own Terracotta army, and this is very easy to do, super fun, and you'll be able to transfer any graphite or any pencil markings to the other piece of paper if there's graphite on the back of it and you trace over it on the front with like another pencil or pen. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!